Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to say this as well. I know that I didn't, use my words in a more precise manner. I don't know why, but it comes out like that. When I look at the camera, which I don't even know why I'm looking at this doggone camera, but the thing is, I figured it out that if we had certain resources available to us within our homes, which I thought about that. I can't remember what it was. It was something that I said that the single mothers need. And it ain't just the single mothers, but that's what I wanted to focus on was the single mothers. And I said if a single mother had a sidekick, then they would be able to freely live their life because it's so much stuff that I wanted to do and I didn't even have, the support that I needed to, to pursue those things that I wanted to do because I had kids and I didn't have, and I was a single mom. And so with me being a single mom, things was very chaotic because I was dealing with myself along with trying to raise kids. And I really had to raise myself, because I didn't have, parents to guide me in the right direction when I was coming up. And then in society now, it's like it's even more harder because it's like even though you don't, how can I say this? Even though there are so many resources out there that could guide the children, as far as technology and things of that sort, the child doesn't have the intellect, or they don't have the know-how or the discernment to make wise decisions, to make wise choices. They would do what's best for that urge they had at that moment, whatever that may be. They would focus more on that, even though it would be something that would be hindering their, their progress as far as them, being able to achieve things when they got older, then being in multiple struggles and having multiple obstacles and things of that sort. And that's what I try to teach my children, how to use their mental. But even though I try to teach my children, it's like they hold on to certain, what's the word I'm looking for? They hold on to certain traditional traditional parental teachings, such as, the parent's supposed to do this because, the child is supposed to be just getting their education, which that's far from the truth when it comes to society. This don't apply to, all kids or teenagers or whatever, but majority of teenagers, they are not getting the proper education that they need due to the fact that it's so much distraction going on, within this time and age. But yeah, I wanted to come back and say that because that video, I listened to it and I'm like, wow, I know what I'm saying, but, with me trying to share, my thoughts at this time with you guys, I'm like, okay, they didn't gonna understand me. And maybe I do because it wasn't as simple as form. I didn't, there wasn't nothing complex about nothing that I was saying. But my thing was everything is structured due to our limited mental capabilities. But just like you have assistance for food, just like you have assistance for utilities, you need assistance for your mental health. I do believe that. You need assistance. You need some type of free financial, some type of financial incentive that comes in that could help with getting the proper mental health. But then when I think about it right now, I would say the proper mental health ain't even the proper mental health, because when I first started off, with me wanting to be a coach to single mothers, I did it the traditional way of coaching, which, yes, they do have very great techniques, but when I started learning things on a spiritual aspect, it opened up my eyes to see things in a different perspective, because it really pertained to myself as me always looking out for answers. And it's like, well, you better than anybody else know you. Then it's like, well, what about those who are getting to know themselves and they do need assistance in trying to figure out who they are? Okay, cool. But I would still take that spiritual approach, because of the traditional coaching or the traditional psychological therapy. They would only do it in a way that would handicap them to keep coming back, because that's what that's structured to do, to have an individual keep coming back and to think that they are healed, or to think that they are able to make better decisions for themselves, when they don't give you those tools to do that. They only give you enough tools to really function within society, with like, they give you enough tools to function within society, so you will be able to cope better with dysfunctional people. But spirituality, it gives you the tools that you need to cope with yourself. Therefore, you'll be able to cope with others that were like how you been. You get what I'm saying? So if you're able to deal with people on a level of where you been at, and you was like really, really messed up in the head, and you was the one that put in all that work. You was the one that wrote down whatever you did all this work, and in order for you to better understand yourself. And it wasn't nothing that was suggested to you. It was only you doing all the mental work and the physical work, whatever it was that you needed to do to get your mental right. You did the work. And so I would recommend in a day for any individual to do the spiritual work, instead of seeking, the psychological, the psychiatrist. But anywho, yeah, when I started talking about stuff like this, it's like I'm really in my thinking mode, so I'm trying to find my words, and so they don't come out right. But I know what I'm trying to say, because I sit here and I think about this stuff, because I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. Because I know that I be working with my kids. I know that I be trying to show them the right way how to do things, but it's like stuff still bites me in my butt. No matter how hard I try to tell them that, no, you're not going to be sitting here, leeching off people. You're not going to be sitting here, just obeying things just because they say it's the right thing to do. You're going to put in some thought to things, and you're going to be able to know who you are, and to know what you worth, and to know, you got what it takes to be in control over your mental. This is what I always advocate to my kids. I'm getting emotional now. I'm finna get off.